Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For purposes of records, my name's Makena Jennifer Murogosho, MCA of Kirionari Ward, and also the chairperson on youth, gender, sports, and community services. Mr. Speaker, there is a letter which has been unreleased for you seeking for an extension. And at the same time, even though we are seeking for an extension, Mr. Speaker, I would want to report to this House, because I think that you take a period of like 4 months to, 4 weeks to be through with the bill. So I would want an extension of not less than a month so that we can finish up with the bill and then look at these nominees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Clerk, if you are giving a month, that takes us up to when?
Obliged, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jennifer Morogocho. And lastly, we have the report of the Select Committee on County Budget and Appropriation on the budget estimates of the Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Board for the financial year 2023-2024. And this one is supposed to be read by Honorable Jacob Mwirigi Mudhuri, Chairperson Select Committee on County Budget and Appropriations. Honorable Mwirigi, please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purpose of records, my name is Jacob Mwirigi, the elected member for Kibiricha Ward, and also the chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, we were expecting to read a report, the same report, but Mr. Speaker, we are yet to finalize. So I rise to seek a further extension of 2 weeks because the RICA bond is yet to honor our invitation. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, we have not yet concluded. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
So 2 weeks takes up to which date, Chair? Which date do you want?
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me check my calendar. And I hope our clerk can assist.
We take first Wednesday of December, morning sitting.
Most obliged, Mr. Speaker.
November. 1st of November, yeah. Doing the morning sitting.
Most obliged.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Honourable members, we are through with the papers, and now I want us to take the next order.
Order number 6, notices of motions.
Thank you, honourable members. We have a number of notices of motions as listed in the appendix, and we take them as per that order. And the first notice of motion is supposed to be given by the leader of the majority. Honorable Evans Karia, please take the floor and give your notice of motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As you have noted, my name is Evans Karia. I represent the good people of Mitungu Ward, and also play the role of the majority leader in this county assembly. And Honorable Speaker, I have a notice of motion. And Honorable Speaker, take notice that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 65-2, I, Honorable Evans Karia, a member of the County Assembly of Meru, representing Mitungu Ward and the leader of the majority party, proposes to move the following motion in the County Assembly of Meru. 1, whereas Article 10 and 73 of the Constitution, Section 3 and 16 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and Sections 9, 10, and 12 of the Public Officer Ethics Act 2003, establish, among others, the rule of law, democracy, human dignity, courtesy, respect, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, integrity, professionalism, non-discrimination, protection of the marginalized, good governance, transparency, and accountability as part of the national values and principles of governance. 2, Articles 10, 73, and 75 of the Constitution require state officers at all times, whether in public or private life, to behave in a manner that, among others, Roman 1 brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office that a state officer holds. Roman 2 ensures decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favoritism, or other improper motives. Roman 3 demonstrates discipline and commitment in service to the people. And Roman 4 avoids demeaning the office that a state officer holds. 3, Articles 10, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution and Sections 59 of the County Governments Act 2012 provide for the values and principles of public service and establish an elaborate regulatory framework for the establishment of county public offices and the recruitment, employment, deployment, transfer, and dismissal of county public officers. 4, Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and Standing Order Number 65 of the Standing Orders of the Assembly provide for the impeachment of county governors for 1, gross violation of the Constitution, 2, gross violation of any other law, 3, abuse of office, and 4, gross misconduct. 5, the governor has, despite a previous impeachment process and warnings from the Senate, persisted in discreditable acts that singly and collectively amount to Roman 1, gross violation of the Constitution, 2, gross violation of various national and county laws, 3, gross abuse of office, and 4, gross misconduct. 6, the discreditable acts have exposed the office of the governor, the office of the deputy governor, the Assembly and its leadership, and the people of Meru County to national shame, scandal, embarrassment, ridicule, and disgrace. The discreditable acts have created a toxic environment in which the governor cannot be legitimately expected or relied upon to work harmoniously with the deputy governor, county government staff, MCAs, and other elected leaders. 8, the governor's continued stay in office has persistently undermined effective and efficient service delivery and delivery at the interest of the people of the county. 9, the Assembly resolves to impeach the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of County Governments Act, and Standing Order Number 65 of the Standing Orders of the Assembly on the following grounds. Count number 1, misappropriation and misuse of county resources. The governor has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10, 73, 201, 226, 227, and 230 of the Constitution, Sections 8, 12, 13, 16, 17, and 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, Sections 55 and 66 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, and Sections 45, subsection 2 and 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act by engagement, convenience, and or complicity in the following. A, the embezzlement of county funds through the governor's sisters, Rose Kinya Gwantai and Miriam Gwantai, brother Kenneth Gwantai Murangeri, brother-in-law Nefat Kenywa, and the nephew to the governor's husband, Henry Mutuma Murangeri, all of whom are from now on collectively referred to as the governor's relatives. B, the withdrawal of county funds and the guise of payment for various supplies by the governor's relatives, yet they are ineligible to tender for or supply any goods or services to the county government. C, paying full salary and benefits for more than a year to Dr. Ntoiti, CEO of County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi-Mbaye, CEO of Meru Microfinance, and Joseph Kithure-Mberia, CEO MEWAS, while knowing that those officers were not rendering any services to the county, and D, the diversion and misuse of county resources, including funds and motor vehicles, to run the governor's private charity dubbed Okolea, despite a previous promise to the Senate in previous impeachment proceedings to refrain from conflicting official county operations and Okolea operations. Number 11, evidence of the governor's engagement, convenience, and or complicity in the preceding gross violation of the Constitution and the law, 2, gross misconduct and gross service of office is to be found in a complaint by Ranera Salesi Mutuma to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission dated 11th August 2023, and the attachment to it, a copy of which is produced on pages 1 to 29 of the exhibits. B, a letter by the clerk of the Assembly dated 9th October 2023 requesting a certified copy of Meru County misrecords, a copy of which is produced on page 30 of the exhibits. C, a letter by the County Executive Committee member for Finance dated 11th October 2023 declining to furnish a certified copy of Meru County misrecords on frivolous grounds, thus inviting an adverse influence against the governor in relation to the complaint raised by Mutuma Salesi Ranera, a copy of which is produced on pages 31 to 32 of the exhibits. D, payslips for Dr. John Tweiti, Joseph Kithure-Mberia, and Kenneth Kimathi-Mbaye, copies of which are produced on page 33 to 41 of the exhibits. And E, the Maua Chief Magistrates Court miscellaneous criminal application number E085 of 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 42 to 47 of the exhibits. F, charge sheets against Salesio Munene Kanga alias Samaritan and Isaiah Toribi Kiyuki, employees of the county government, relating to the violence that erupted at the governor's Okolea rally at Makiri, copies of which are produced on pages 48 to 49 of the exhibits. G, payslips for Salesio Munene Kanga alias Samaritan and Isaiah Toribi Kiyuki, confirming their status as employees of the county, copies of which are produced on pages 50 to 51 of the exhibits. And H, a video recording of the violence that erupted at the Okolea rally and at Makiri on 16th September 2023, which is saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and the transcript of which is produced on pages 52 to 53 of the exhibits. Count number 2, Honorable Speaker, nepotism and related unethical practices. The governor has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10, Articles 2.2, 2.5, and 2.6 of the Constitution, Sections 12, 17, and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, 2003, Sections 13, Sections 16 and 24 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and Sections 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Governments Act 2012 by engagement, convenience, and or complicity in the following. A, fraudulently misrepresenting the governor's relatives as a technical team for purposes of travel to China to inspect and certify cancer treatment equipment, while knowing that the governor's for purposes of travel to China to inspect and certify cancer treatment equipment, while knowing that the governor's relatives are not medical professionals. B, employing Edwin Mutuma Murangiri, who is a nephew to the governor's husband, as the CEO of Meru County, as the CEO of Meru Youth Service, MYS, and acting chief officer of the Department of Finance. C, the designation of Nefat Kenywa, who is the governor's brother-in-law, as the director of external leakages without transparent and competitive recruitment. And D, assigning diplomatic duties, namely engagements with foreign diplomats and dignitaries to our unqualified sisters, that is Miriam Gwantai, PA, and Rose Gwantai, bodyguard. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the preceding 1, gross misviolation of the Constitution and the law, 2, gross misconduct, and 3, gross abuse of office is to be found in a letter by the EACC to the governor dated 19th October 2022 relating to nepotism, cronyism, and other unethical acts, a copy of which is produced on pages 54 to 56 of the exhibits. B, the governor's response to the letter alluded to in subparagraph A above, confirming the employment status of the governor's close relative, a copy of which is produced on page 57 to 59 of the exhibits. C, letters in English and Chinese by Beijing Link Tech Company Limited dated 25th April 2023, inviting the governor to China to benchmark cancer treatment equipment for installation at a cancer treatment center in Meru, copies of which are produced on pages 60 to 67 of the exhibits. Letter from the county government to the State Department for Devolution dated 26th May 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 68 to 67 of the exhibits. An internal memo by Kusa Azel to the Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution. An internal memo by Kusa Azel to the Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution dated 5th June 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 76 to 85 of the exhibits. A letter from the State Department for Devolution to the Minister of Foreign Affairs dated 5th June 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 86 of the exhibits. Videos of the governor's relatives' trip to China, which are produced in flash disk represented here with a letter dated 6th June 2023 describing USA Kenyans, the Director of External Leakages, a copy of which is produced on page 87 of the exhibits. A short list and interview schedule for various posts in the office of the governor dated 6th September 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 88 to 91 of the exhibits. An internal memo dated 23rd August 2023 appointing Edwin Mutuma, the CEO of Meru Youth Service, as acting chief officer for finance, a copy of which is produced on pages 92 to 93 of the exhibits, and K, screen grabs of the governor's official Facebook page post on 23rd May 2023, copies of which are produced on pages 94 to 100 of the exhibits. Honorable Speaker, count number 3, bullying, verification, and demeaning other leaders. The Governor, Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, has grossly violated, among others, 1, Articles 10, Articles 19, 28, 73, and 75, and 179 of the Constitution, Sections 9B, 19, and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, Sections 29 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, and sections 32 and 3C and D of the County Governments Act by engagement, connivance, and or complicity in, among others, the following. A, exclusion of the Deputy Governor from County Executive Committee meetings and other official functions. B, bullying, undermining, and posting insulting and demeaning messages about the Deputy Governor in our WhatsApp group styled that Government 012, whose membership includes several officers who are subordinate to the Deputy Governor. C, encouraging and condoning insubordination and the making of insulting and demeaning public utterances by subordinate staff against the Deputy Governor and other elected leaders. D, bullying, undermining, and posting insulting and demeaning messages about the Deputy Governor in our WhatsApp group styled County Admin Services, whose membership includes several officers who are subordinate to the Deputy Governor. E, encouraging and condoning the removal of the Deputy Governor by junior officers from official county WhatsApp communication forums. Arbitrary suspension, dismissal, withdrawal, and frustration of the staff of the office of the Deputy Governor, illegally and irregularly and fraudulently holding the Deputy Governor's staff out of office by purporting to accept their non-existent resignations. Arbitrary reduction, suspension, and withdrawal of budgetary facilitation for legitimate operations of the office of the Deputy Governor. Threatening to inflict bodily harm against the Deputy Governor orally and in WhatsApp chats. Forcibly breaking entry and ransacking of the Deputy Governor's office, changing the locks to to the Deputy Governor's office, arbitrary relocation of the Deputy Governor's office, arbitrary withdrawal of security from the Deputy Governor's residence, and persistently making demeaning public utterances against other elected leaders despite the same issue featuring prominently in the previous impeachment proceedings. Making insightful, insulting, and demeaning remarks against other leaders by falsely accusing them of cartelism at a presidential Thanksgiving service held in Lare despite this issue arising in previous impeachment proceedings, and encouraging, conniving, and condoning her husband's insulting and demeaning public utterances and musical performances against other elected leaders despite this issue featuring in previous impeachment proceedings. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and or complicity in the preceding: 1, gross violation of the Constitution and the law; 2, gross misconduct; and 3, gross abuse of office, is to be found in A, the answer of the meeting of the Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion held on 29 September 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 101 to 124 of the exhibits. B, screen grabs from the WhatsApp group styled that Government 012 and Counter Admin Services, copies of which are produced on pages 125 to 194 of the exhibits. C, correspondence relating to the appointment of Patrick Nkunga as the personal assistant to the Deputy Governor. And Mr. Speaker, for avoidance of doubt or conflict, the one Deputy Governor for Meru is Honorable Reverend Mutembei, a copy of which is produced on pages 195 to 198 of the exhibits. D, a letter by the Governor's Chief of Staff dated 22nd May 2023 purporting to accept an non-existent resignation from Patrick Nkunga, a copy of which is produced on pages 199 of the exhibits. The purported resignation of Patrick Nkunga on 18th May 2023 is a fabrication of Governor's Chief of Staff. A claim by Patrick Nkunga for withheld salary dated 25th August 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 200 to 201 of the exhibits. The appointment letter for Kombudu Paul Gekamati as the chief driver to the Deputy Governor dated 30th August 2022, a copy of which is produced on pages 202 and to 203 of the exhibits. A letter by the Governor's Chief of Staff dated 19th May 2023 purporting to accept an non-existent resignation from Kombudu Paul Gekamati, a copy of which is produced on pages 204 of the exhibits. A demand letter by Kombudu Paul Gekamati's advocates for withheld salary dated 13th June 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 205 to 201 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor's personal assistant to the Chief of Public Administration dated 14th July 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 212 of the exhibits. Correspondence dated 11th August 2023 to 11th September 2023 relating to repair, service and fuel for the Deputy Governor's official motor vehicles, copies of which are produced on pages 213 to 219 of the exhibits. An internal memo by the Deputy Governor's personal assistant to the Chief of Finance dated 23rd August 2023 requesting facilitation to attend a Meru leaders meeting at the Nakuru State Lodge, a copy of which is produced on pages 220 to 225 of the exhibits. An internal memo by the Deputy Governor to the County Secretary relating to CEC meetings dated 25th August 2023, of which is produced on pages 226 of the exhibits. Correspondence between the Governor's Chief of Staff, the Deputy Governor, and the Deputy County Secretary dated 30th August 2023 to 12th September 2023 relating to the relocation of the Deputy Governor's office, copies of which are produced on pages 227 to 229 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor to the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly relating to office facilitation dated 30th August 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 230 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor to the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly relating to the exclusion from CEC meetings.
In the majority, please, where we are referring to the Deputy Governor, please also mention the names. Please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Like previously I said, this motion relates to the Governor to the removal of one Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, who is the Governor of Meru County, and it is irrefutable that the Deputy Governor is one Honorable Reverend Isaac Mutembei. Therefore, they are the ones who are referred to in this motion, but I'll strive to mention by their names. Honorable Speaker, I was on a letter by the Deputy Governor to the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly relating to exclusion from CEC meetings dated 30th August 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 231 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor, Reverend Isaac Mutembei, to the Secretary of the County Public Service Board relating to the staffing of the Deputy Governor's office dated 30th August 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 232 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor to the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya relating to reconciliation dated 1st September 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 233 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor to the Clerk of the Senate relating to an invitation to CEC meetings and office facilitation dated 1st September 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 234 of the exhibits. A letter by the Deputy Governor to the Chairperson of the Council of Governors and Chairperson of the Deputy Governor's Caucus relating to reconciliation dated 1st September 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 235 of the exhibits. An internal memo by the Deputy Governor to the County Secretary dated 11 September 2023, a copy of which is produced on page 236 of the exhibits, receipts evidencing the Deputy Governor's expenses on official motor vehicles after denial of facilitation, copies of which are produced on pages 237 to 242 of the exhibits. Correspondence relating to the invitation of the CECM Finance to appear before the Assembly to shed light on complaints by the Deputy Governor, a copy of which is produced on pages 243 to 248 of the exhibits. Police OB number relating to breaking into the Deputy Governor's office and forgery of his driver's resignation letters, copies of which are produced on page 249 of the exhibits, and a video recording of the Governor accusing other leaders of cartelism at a presidential Thanksgiving service held in Lare, which is saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and a transcript of which is produced on page 250 of the exhibits. Video recording of an insulting, demeaning, and insightful demeaning and insightful musical performance by the Governor, Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, and her husband at Kiotene, which is saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and the transcript of which is produced on pages 251 to 252 of the exhibits. Video recording of the Governor's Chief of Staff making highly vulgar, insulting, demeaning, and deceptive remarks against the Deputy Governor on Baita TV, owned by the Governor through relatives and proxies, which is saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and the transcript of which is produced on page 447 of the exhibits, and a video recording of the Governor, Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, dissing MCAs and other elected leaders at a public rally and boasting of how she easily won previous impeachment proceedings, a copy of which is saved in the flash disk presented herewith. Honorable Speaker, count number 4, illegal appointments and usurpation of statutory powers. The Governor has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10, 41, 201, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, Section 17 of the Public Office Ethics Act, Sections 45, 55, 59, 59A, 60, 62, 63, 64, and 65 of the County Governments Act, Section 4 of the Public Appointments Act 2017, Section 34, 3 of the Public Service Commission Act 2017, Section 9, Subsection 2 of the Meru County Revenue Board Act 2014, Section 4, Subsection 2 of the Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act 2014, Section 11, Subsection 2 of the Meru County Microfinance Corporation Act 2014, and Section 18, Subsection 2 of the Meru County Water and Sanitation Services Act 2014, by engagement, convenience, and complicity in, among the others, the following. A. Appointing Kennedy Mutriungu as a chief officer without county assembly approval. B. Sending Dr. Mtoiti, CEO of County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi Mbaye, Managing Director of Meru Microfinance Corporation, and Joseph Kidhure Mberia, CEO MEWAS, on indefinite compulsory leave with full salary and benefits in the usurpation of the powers of the appointing authorities under the relevant Meru County laws. C. Deploying other persons in breach of a court order to perform the functions of the persons alluded to in subparagraph C above. Appointing unqualified persons, that is Edwin Mutuma Murangeri, Kenneth Mutriungu, and Gitobu Kanata, as acting chief officers without the requisite competitive recruitment and recommendation of the County Public Service Board. Disregarding the criteria for the establishment of offices within the County Public Service by recruiting traffic marshals without the involvement of the County Public Service Board. Usurping the powers of the County Public Service Board by creating offices of the traffic marshals, which is the sole preserve of the County Public Service Board. Employing a bloated workforce, more than 100 personal staff in the office of the Governor. Irregularly designating and paying various cleaners as senior support staff while having 16 support staff. Appointing the following persons to hold county offices in an acting capacity for more than 6 months. 1. Monica Kagwema, Chief Officer Youth. 2. Kome Mudhuri, Director, Health Services. 3. Francis Mungai, CEO, County Revenue Board. 4. Silas Mbabu Moguna, CEO, Liquor Board. Evidence of the governor's engagement, convenience, and the complicity in the preceding gross violations of the Constitution and the law, gross misconduct, and gross abuse of office is to be found in A. Documents relating to the staffing means of the office of governor, adverts, and shortlisting of chief officers, copies of which are produced on pages 253 to 294 of the exhibits. B. An internal memo by the County Secretary dated 23rd August 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 295 to 296 of the exhibit. C. Summons issued by the Assembly Sectoral Committee on Labour, Public Service and Social Welfare on 26th September 2023, copies of which are produced on pages 297 to 310 of the exhibits. D. Response by the County Secretary communicating the decision of the Governor, the Chief of Staff, County Secretary, County Executive Committee Member Finance, and the Fleet Manager not to appear before the Sectoral Committee of the Assembly, thus inviting an adverse influence against the Governor, Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, a copy of which is produced on pages 301 to 312 of the exhibits. The answer of the meeting of the Sectoral Committee on Labour, Public Service and Social Welfare and on 5th October 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 313 to 323 of the exhibits. The County Public Service Human Resource Manual 2013 and the Public Service Commission Human Resources Manual 2016, relevant extracts of which are produced on pages 324 to 334 of the exhibits. Internal memo dated 22nd December 2022 by the County Public Service Board to Chief Officers through the County Secretary advising on transfers, appointments and establishment of offices within the County Public Service, a copy of which is produced on page 305 of the exhibits. Letters sending various officers on compulsory leave, copies of which are produced on pages 306 to 342 of the exhibits. Circulars, guidelines from the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, the Transition Authority, and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission on the staffing of the Office of Governor, copies of which are produced on pages 343 to 353 of the exhibits. Correspondence relating to the bloated workforce in the governor's office, copies of which are produced on pages 354 to 362 of the exhibits. Payslips relating to some of the bloated workforce in the office of the governor, copies of which are produced on pages 363 to 382 of the exhibits. Correspondence between the Assembly and the County Public Service Board on the appointment of chief officers and the employment of various staff within the office of the governor, copies of which are produced on pages 383 to 408 of the exhibits. Screen grabs from the governor's official Facebook page relating to the appointment of traffic marshals, copies of which are produced on pages 409 to 412 of the exhibits, and a video recording of the governor flagging off traffic marshals saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and a transcript of which is produced on pages 413 to 414 of the exhibits. Count number 5, Honorable Speaker, contempt of court. The Governor, Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10 and 73 of the Constitution, Section 7 of the Leadership and Integrity Act by engagement, and Section 10 of the Public Officers Act by connivance and complicity in a contumacious, stubborn refusal to obey lawful court orders. Evidence of the Governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in this gross violation of the Constitution and the law, gross misconduct and gross abuse of office is to be found in a video recording saved in the flash disk presented herewith, and a transcript of which is produced on page 415 of the exhibits. An order issued by Employment and Labor Relations Court on 7 October 2023, a copy of which is produced on pages 416 to 417 of the exhibits, a ruling delivered by the Employment and Labor Relations Court at Meru on 29 September 2023, finding the governor and other persons guilty of contempt, a copy of which is produced on pages 418 to 439 of the exhibits, and an order extracted from the ruling alluded to in the preceding subparagraph, a copy of which is produced on pages 440 to 441 of the exhibits. Honorable Speaker, county number 6, illegally naming a public road after husband. The Governor, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10 and 73 of the Constitution, Section 7 and 11, subsection 1C of the Meru County Owners and Awards Act 2018 by naming a public road after a husband without following the applicable statutory procedures. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and the complicity in the aforesaid gross violation of the Constitution and the law, gross misconduct, and gross abuse of office is to be found in a screen grab from the governor's official Facebook page, a copy of which is produced on page 442 of the exhibits, and a screen grab from the governor's husband's official Facebook page, a copy of which is produced on page 443 of the exhibits. Count number 7, Honorable Speaker, which is the last one, is the governor's contempt of the Assembly, where the governor has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10, 174, 185, and 185 of the Constitution, Section 39 of the County Governments Act 2012, and Sections 18, 22, and 27 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017 by engagement, connivance, and or complicity in the following: A, refusing to honor lawful summons to appear before the Assembly's Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Cohesion to answer questions on the matters raised in the preceding parts of this impeachment motion. B, directing a chief of staff and accomplice by unlucky in malfeasance to write a contemptuous letter to the Assembly in response to lawful summons to appear before the Assembly Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Cohesion. And C, in the refusal by County Executive Committee Member Finance and County Secretary to furnish documents to the Assembly on the frivolous grounds that an inchoate audit process was underway and the matters raised by the Assembly was sub judice, the later frivolous ground being also disingenuous and contrived when viewed against the fact that the governor has already been convicted of contempt of court. Evidence of the governor's engagement, connivance, and complicity in the aforesaid gross violation of the Constitution and the law is to be found in a letter by the governor's chief of staff dated 11th October 2023 and a copy of which is produced on pages 446 to 445 of the exhibit. Honorable Speaker, this notice of motion is dated the 16th day of October 2023 and signed by myself. And Honorable Speaker, now with your permission, you allow me to lay this notice of proposed motion together with the exhibits, which are both in hard copy and also in a flash disk on the table of this Honorable Assembly.
Yes, Honorable in the majority, Evans Mawira, please proceed under. Thank you, Honorable in the majority, Evans Mawira. Now, can we take the second notice of motion from Honorable Kacheri Moduri? Honorable Kacheri Moduri. Please proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. For record, Honorable Kacheri Moduri, a nominated member in this August House. Mr. Speaker, I have a notice of motion which is dated on 16th October 2023. Take notice that I, Kacheri Moduri, a nominated member of the County Assembly of Meru and the Chairperson Central Committee of Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion, proposes to move the following motion in the County Assembly of Meru, that this Honorable Assembly considers and adopts the report of Central Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion on the complaint by His Excellency the Deputy Governor Meru County to the County Assembly of Meru against, among others, is alleged exclusion from County Executive Committee meetings and manifestation of his office, which report was laid on the table of the Honorable House on Honorable Assembly today, Tuesday, 17th October 2023, during the morning sitting. Mr. Speaker, I have undersigned this notice of motion, and with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to lay the notice of motion on the floor of the House.
Yes, Honorable Kacheri Moduri, please proceed under. Thank you, Honorable Kacheri Moduri. Now we have the third notice of motion, and this one is supposed to be given by Honorable Frederick Mobichi Kirema. Honorable Mobichi, please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the purposes of record, my name is Frederick Mobichi Kirema, representing great people of Unyaki West and the chairperson of Train Tourism and Enterprise Development. Mr. Speaker, I take note to present this notice of motion. I take notice that I, Honorable Frederick Mobichi Kirema, a member of County Assembly of Meru, representing Unyaki West Ward, and the chairperson of Sector Committee on Train Tourism, Cooperative and Enterprise Development, I propose to move the following motion in the County Assembly financial year 2021-2022, which report was laid on the table on the Honorable Assembly on Tuesday, 17th day of October 2023, during the morning sitting. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I beg to read the notice.
Yes, thank you, Honorable friend Kovich Kirema. Please proceed and delay. Thank you, Honorable friend Kovich Kirema, Chair trained representing Nyaki West, following the motion. Clerk, can we take the next order?
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion by leave of the House.
Honorable members, we have one motion by the leave of the House, and this one is supposed to be moved by Honorable Gacheri Mudhuri. Honorable Gacheri Mudhuri, please take the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to come to the front and read the report from there, please.
Please do so.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Honorable Gacheri Mudhuri, a nominated member by the Jubilee Party in this August House, and the chairperson Secretary Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have a report by the committee to the County Assembly against, that is a report on the complaints by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Meru County, to the County Assembly against his alleged exclusion from County Executive Committee meetings and non-facilitation of his office. Mr. Speaker, this report was compiled by the committee in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya 2010, County Government Act 2012, the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act 2017, and the County Assembly of Meru Standing Orders. The report documents all activities of the committee throughout the entire investigation, where the committee received comprehensive briefs from His Excellency the Deputy Governor and the persons adversely mentioned by him in his submissions before the committee. The committee extensively scrutinized the documentation and submitted by various witnesses. The committee developed a schedule for inviting relevant persons to shed more light into the issues raised by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, and some invitees honored the invites, while others failed to honor nor respond to the summons issued by the committee. The committee contains summaries of various submissions submitted to the committee during the investigations. Recommendations of the committee. The county treasury do establish sub-vote end within the vote end of the office of the governor, and all planning documents to ensure the office of the Deputy Governor is well funded to discharge its constitutional mandate, and in the failure of the county treasury to do so, the county assembly be free to establish the first county treasury, the first supplementary budget for the year 2023-2024 or 2024-2025 financial year. Number 2 of the recommendations, the Meru County Public Service Board do direct the reinstatement of one Patrick Nkonga and Paul Kamati as the personal assistant of the senior driver respectively under their previous contract terms, and ensure their personnel enrollments and entitlements for the period that they have been removed from the payroll are paid within a month from when this report is adopted by the County Assembly. Number 3, that the County Public Service Board is hereby directed to immediately desist from delegating the appointing authority to the officers who are not stipulated in the section 86(1) of the County Government Act 2012. Number 4, the County Public Service Board commences disciplinary action against the Chief of Staff for issuing acknowledgement letters of non-existent resignation letters pursuant to section 54 F of the County Government Act 2012. Number 5, the committee also recommends that the Deputy Governor be reinstated to his office that befits his stature as a duly elected Deputy Governor of Meru County. The committee notes that I'll repeat number 5 of the recommendations. The committee also recommends that the Deputy Governor...
Honorable Hacheri, please read the whole report from page 1 to the last page, please.
Noted, Mr. Speaker, I'll do that.
Yes.
Okay. The committee also recommends that the Deputy Governor be reinstated to his office that befits his stature as the duly elected Deputy Governor of Meru. The committee notes that the public resources were spent to make the office suitable to host a Deputy Governor, so the office should serve its purpose. Number 6, the County Assembly finds the Governor, the CEC Finance, and the County Secretary, the Chief of Staff, and the Fleet Manager in violation of Article 195 and the Constitution, together with the Section 18 and 22 of the County Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act, and this honorable House may take any action that it's deemed fit against the officers. Pursuant to the Orders 195, it is my present duty to present to the House the report of the Committee Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion and Communication emanating from the Deputy Governor of Meru County regarding lack of facilitation and exclusion from the Executive Committee meetings. Mr. Speaker, on Tuesday, 19th September 2023, during the morning sitting, the presiding speaker made communication regarding 2 letters dated 30th August 2023, referenced DG SP/CAM/2/2023 and DG/SP/CAM/01/2023 from His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Meru, which was subsequently committed to the Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion for consideration and report back to the House on or before 17th October 2023 as annexed in Annexure 1. It is this regard that the committee resolved to invite the Excellency Deputy Governor to appear before the committee to shed light on the issues raised in the aforementioned letters, Annexure 2. This consultative meeting took place on Friday, 29th September 2023, starting from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the County Assembly Chambers. The mandate of the committee. Mr. Speaker, the Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion is established under the Standing Orders number 190 of the County Assembly of Meru, Standing Orders, with a mandate to, among others, inquire into, report on all matters relating to intergovernmental relations and coordination, constitutional affairs, the administration of law and justice, ethics, good governance, integrity, and anti-corruption measures, and protection of human rights, civic education, and workforce. 2, all matters relating to participation of communities in governance at local level, including measures being taken to develop administrative capacity to ensure citizen participation, all matters relating to constitution and cooperation between the national and county governments, establishing mechanisms for resolution of intergovernmental disputes pursuant to Articles 6 and 189 of the Constitution, and other relating matters. Number 3, all matters relating to coordination of security and disaster management, including collaboration of the county and national government of security and disaster management, alternative dispute resolution, and other forms of dispute resolution involving intra-conflicts, such relating matters. It is therefore pursuant to this function, the mandate of the committee was established under the following terms of reference. 1, investigating the deputy governor's letters addressed to the county assembly. 2, ensuring compliance with relevant laws and regulations. 3, recommendations, actions, or solutions to address the issues raised. And 4, to lay a report of the committee on the table of the Honorable for the purposes of consideration and adoption of the Assembly. Mr. Speaker, the committee consists of, number 1, Gasheri Mudhoni Mudhuri as the chairperson. Number 2, Benson Kirinya as the vice chairperson. The members are Honorable Dorsin Kawira, Honorable Caleb Kibuko Mutedia, Honorable Haron Duanira, Honorable Patrick Mutuma, Honorable Martin Kome, Honorable Maurice Ntarangwe, Honorable Kenneth Maingi Mutwiri, Honorable Patrick Mwirigi, Honorable Kangwana Duncan, Honorable Sekondina Kanini, Honorable John Edeba, Honorable Godwin Bioki, Honorable Catherine Kamadhi, Honorable Grace Kambura, Honorable Edith McKenna, Honorable Josephat Kenyamuna, Honorable Stephen Gakure Nchebere, Honorable Timothy Mutwiri, Honorable Josephat Barrow, and Honorable John Muguna. The Secretariat, Mr. Speaker, included Chede Gekunda as the clerk, Lindsay McKenna as the research officer, Mr. Mwenda Kinoti in the Ansant, Mr. Baptista Mureki in the Legal Department, and Tracy and Madam Teresa Mukiri in the Sergeant of Arms Office. The background and information. The Sectoral Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and Cohesion invited the Deputy Governor to appear before the committee on 25th September 2023, but he was not able to appear on the scheduled date because he was hospitalized in Nairobi. However, he sent a written apology through a letter dated 22nd September 2023, which is referenced DG/CK/CAM/1/2023, requesting the committee to reschedule the meeting to a later date, Annexure 3. The request was granted and the meeting was rescheduled to take place on 29th September 2023 at 9 a.m. at the County Assembly proceedings. Honorable Speaker, the Deputy Governor appeared before the committee on the scheduled dates and the time, and the following submissions to make under the oath and before the cameras, Mr. Speaker. Submissions from His Excellency the Deputy Governor. 2.1. First, lack of facilitation of the office of the Deputy Governor. His Excellency the Deputy Governor informed the committee that his office had not received any form of facilitation from the month of April 2023. Initially, he received some amount of 50,000 Kenya shillings from the CCM Finance to run the office, which was increased to Kenya shillings 200,000, but the amount was completely withdrawn in April 2023. The Deputy Governor confirmed to the committee that he has been using his own personal resources to run the office, which has become difficult and limiting him in delivering his services to the people of Meru. Annexed and are the receipts of his expenditure in Annexure number 4. His Excellency the Deputy Governor cited various incidences where he was not facilitated. They include, but not limited to: 1. Fueling his car to Nakuru State Lounge, where the Meru County leaders were invited for consultative meeting with the President of the Republic of Kenya, and also catering for welfare of his secretariat. Number 2, not being facilitated to attend the Evolution Conference held in Eldoret in mid-August 2023, an event that was critical in the county governance matters. Number 3, he further informed the committee that his efforts to seek reimbursement from the fuel and accommodation bills from the CCM Finance Department have been futile. The Deputy Governor informed the committee that lack of facilitation for his office has direct implication on the welfare of Meru County people, citing the limitation to carry out his constitutional mandate as duly elected Deputy Governor of Meru County. He also explained he had lost touch with citizenry due to non-attendance to formal and informal functions. He was missing on capacity building, policy designing and development partnerships for the county, which was part of their manifesto. The Deputy Governor was also concerned about electricity disconnections in his residence from time to time, which compromised his security detail. He informed the committee that his efforts to seek clarification from various offices has not borne any fruits, since the letters are not replied to. Number 2.2. Failure to be invited in County Executive Committee meetings. Article 179(2) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 stipulates that the Deputy Governor is substantive member of the County Executive Committee. In the letters presented before the County Assembly, the Deputy Governor had stated that he is not invited to the County Executive Committee meetings, having attended the last meeting on 29th May 2023, when the committee inquired the mode of communication to attend the County Executive Committee meeting. The Deputy Governor informed the committee that he was previously invited by the County Secretary through written memos and text messages. Honorable Speaker, in accordance to Section 44(3)(b) of the County Government Act 2012, the County Secretary is responsible for arranging the business and keeping the minutes of the County Executive Committee, subject to the directions of the Executive Committee. In this regard, the Deputy Governor raised concerns with the County Secretary regarding his exclusion from the County Executive Committee meetings, but they were not addressed. Annexure 5. The Deputy Governor informed the committee of his failure to be invited to the County Executive Committee meetings, to some extent has attributed to the strained relationship between him and the governor. The Deputy Governor also informed the committee that he was part of the budget making process, because by the time they were in good terms with the governor, the financial year 2022-2023, the budgetary allocations from the previous regime for the office of the governor was 180 million, and in 2023-2024 financial year, the budgetary allocations for the office is 173 million that 4,018 shillings. The committee noted that there is no specific budgetary allocation for the office of the Deputy Governor. Number 2.3, illegal dismissal of employees attached to the office of the Deputy Governor. While making his submissions before the committee, the Deputy Governor informed the committee that officers attached to his office were illegally dismissed from his office and are alleged to have resigned, which was not the case. Some of the officers who were illegally dismissed was Mr. Paul Kamati and driver in his office, and Mr. Patrick Nkonga, the Deputy Governor's personal assistant. Verification of His Excellency, the Deputy Governor. The Deputy Governor submitted that the Governor is on record in the mainstream media uttering demeaning words towards him. Further, adduced evidence in form of printouts from 2 WhatsApp groups, which the deputy was a member before he was ungraciously removed from those groups, indicating that the groups were turned into bullying forums, even by his juniors, being cheered on by his boss, the governor. That is Annex 6. 2.5, relocation from the office of the Deputy Governor's office. The Deputy Governor further submitted that in a ploy to intimidate and belittle him, he was arbitrarily removed from his office, that he was arbitrarily removed from his office in the headquarter building, which was housing the governor and the deputy governor offices, and was relocated to the annex building. He submitted that the office that he was allocated did not have space for the support staff, who included his personal assistant, security, driver, and a waiting bay for his guests to stay. Therefore, they were operating from the corridors. He also protested the manner in which relocation was done, which led to loss of some items, including cash and laptop. The officers working in the office of the deputy governor reported to the police station, since the office was forcibly broken into, locks changed, and the personal items were missing. The committee, while analyzing the evidence submitted, realized the governor has been on the forefront, vilifying his deputy governor and encouraging the junior staff, who included CECs, chief officers, and administrators, to vilify him. The committee opened the conduct of to the amount of gross misconduct, and the governor, knowing this, and addicted to reprimand and discourage the discourse, but instead she cheered it on. Mr. Speaker, it is in this regard to the aforementioned concerns that this committee resolved to invite officers adversely mentioned to shed more light on the matter. The committee derives powers from Articles 195 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Number 1, the County Assembly or any committees has power to summon any person to appear before the committee for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Number 2, for the purpose of Clause 1, an assembly has the same powers as the High Court to A, enforce the attendance of witness and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B, compel the production of documents, and C, issue a commission or request to examine a witness abroad. Pursuant to the above provisions and standing orders number 175 of the County Assembly of Meru standing orders, the committee invited the following persons to appear before the committee to give submissions on the concerns raised by the Deputy Governor. Number 1, Her Excellency Governor Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, who is the Governor of Meru County. Number 2, Dr. Kiambi Aderu as the County Secretary. Number 3, Ms. Monica Cardono, CCM Department of Finance and Economic Planning. Number 4, Mr. Dixon Munene, CCM Department of Legal Affairs and Public Service and Administration. Number 5, Madam Virginia Kawira, CEO, Meru County Public Service Board. Number 6, Harrison Gatobu, Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor. Number 7, Mr. James Mutia, Chief Officer, Cooperatives. Number 8, Mr. Peter Mutedia, Fleet Manager, County Government of Meru. Number 9, Mr. Paul Gikamati, Driver to the Deputy Governor. Number 10, Mr. Patrick Nkonga, Personal Assistant to the Deputy Governor. Mr. Speaker, the concerned officers were to appear before the committee on 5th and 6th October 2023 at the County Assembly precincts. The invitation to appear before the committee was sent to the respective offices and was received, Annexure number 7. However, the committee informs the Honorable House that only the following officers honored the invitation. Number 1, Mr. Paul Gikamati, that's the driver to the Deputy Governor. Number 2, Mr. Patrick Nkonga, the personal assistant to the Deputy Governor. Number 3, Madam Virginia Kawira, the CEO, Meru County Public Service Board. And number 4, Mr. Dixon Munene, the CCM Department of Legal Affairs and Public Service and Administration. The committee informs this Honorable House that Her Excellency Governor Bishop Kawira Mwangaza and Ms. Cardono, CCM Department of Finance and Economic Planning, sent apologies for not being able to attend the meeting due to work-related issues. That is Annexure number 8. The following officers did not appear before the committee, nor did not give apologies regarding the same. 1, Dr. James Kiambi Adero, County Secretary, County Government of Meru. Mr. Harrison Gatobu, Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor. Number 3, Mr. James Mutia, Chief Officer, Cooperatives. Number 4, Mr. Paul Mutedia, Fleet Manager, County Government of Meru. Submissions from Mr. Paul Gikamati, former driver to the Deputy Governor. Mr. Paul Gikamati, former driver to the Deputy Governor, appeared before the committee on Thursday 5th, 2023 at 9 a.m. and submitted the following submissions under oath and in camera. Mr. Paul Gikamati was employed as a driver on 30th August 2022 and has an appointment letter to that effect. The letter was signed by Mr. Harrison Gitonga Gitobu, Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor, Meru County. That's in Annexure number 9. The committee ascertained that Mr. Paul Gikamati was an employee of the County Government of Meru on 5-year contract, which he provided a payslip to show he was receiving his monthly salary from the County Government of Meru before his alleged resignation on 19th May 2023. According to Mr. Paul Gikamati, he did not write any resignation letter to the County Public Service Board or the Chief of Staff. However, he received the acknowledgement of receipt of resignation letter. He sought audience from his boss, who is the Deputy Governor. He also wrote to the County Public Service Board through his lawyer and also trying to seek audience with the governor on the same to no avail. Number 4, Mr. Gikamati informed the committee that he has never received any dismissal letter from the County Public Service Board and has not received any salary from the county government since June 2023. 2-3, submissions from Mr. Nkonga, personal assistant to the Deputy Governor. Mr. Patrick Nkonga before committee on 5th October 2023 at 10 a.m. at the County Assembly premises and gave the following submissions under oath and in camera. 1. Patrick Nkonga informed the committee that he began working for the Deputy Governor on 25th August 2023, but he got his official appointment letter on 30th of January 2023, signed by the Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor. That's Annexure 10. He further informed the committee that he has been an employee of the county government of Meru under a 5-year contract and carries his duties diligently as the personal assistant to the deputy governor even after the alleged dismissal. Number 3, he informed the committee that he has only received 4 months salary since he received his employment letter on 30th January 2023. He confirmed that he has not received his 3 months salary and the last pay was in June 2023. Annexure number 11. He has written to the Director, Human Resource, complaining about the issues and copied the same to the County Secretary. The offices confirmed the receipts of the letter, but there was no feedback. Number 4. The committee noted Mr. Patrick further called the former Director HR to clarify on the reason he was not receiving his salary and was informed that the Chief of Staff had instructed the Director not to pay his salary upon which he got transferred by not honoring the instructions of the Chief of Staff. Number 5. Mr. Patrick also informed the committee that he knew about his purported resignation through the current human resource manager, who informed him that she had gotten an acknowledgement of resignation from the Chief of Staff. The letter dated 22nd May 2023, Annexure 12. The letter was also copied to the County Secretary. The committee notes that the letter was served to Mr. Patrick, was not served to Mr. Patrick, nor the Deputy Governor, who is the immediate boss. Number 6, Mr. Patrick Nkonga also confirmed to the committee that he has never written any resignation letter and also proved to the committee that he still offers his services as the personal assistant to the Deputy Governor, including doing official correspondences for the office of the Deputy Governor. Number 7, Mr. Patrick Nkonga informed the committee that they have faced many challenges in the running of the office and the Deputy Governor. In a narrated incidents of 25th of August 2023, where the County Secretary called him, informing him that the Governor had ordered him to surrender keys for the office of the Deputy Governor and the office secretariat with immediate effect. They later discovered that the office had been broken into and the locks changed, so they could not access the office. In the process, several items got lost, including a laptop and other personal items. The incident was reported to the police and a no-bin number is issued to that effect. Number 8, Mr. Patrick also informed the committee that security officers manning the official residence of the Deputy Governor had not been paid since July 2023. A letter written on that effect was received by relevant offices, but no action has been taken. 2.4 Submissions from the CCM Legal Affairs, Public Service and Administration. Mr. Dixon Munene, the CCM Department of Legal Affairs, Public Service and Administration, appeared before the committee on 5th of October 2023 at 12 noon at the County Assembly premise and submitted the following submissions under oath and in camera. 1. The CCM Legal Affairs, Public Service and Administration informed the committee that his main duty at the department is to manage and implement policies concerning the public service. He further informed the committee that the county government of Meru is in the process of finalizing and implementing the human resource policy manual that will be used in governing the county's public service. Number 3, the CCM confessed to the committee that he was not aware of any resignations of the 2 employees from the office of the deputy governor. When asked about the recruitment process of one Mr. Paul Kamati and Mr. Nkonga, he also confirmed to the committee that the County Public Service Board is the one responsible for hiring and firing of the employees. Submissions from the secretary and members of the County Public Service Board. The secretary and members of the Meru County Public Service Board appeared before the committee on 5th October 2023 at 1 p.m. at the County Assembly premises and gave the following submissions under oath and in camera. 1. On the number of officers working under the office of the governor, the secretary to the board informed the committee that they have a list of staff working under the office of the governor, explaining the office of the governor included office of the deputy governor, annexure number 13. The secretary to the board acknowledged that they had received a letter from the deputy governor complaining about employees in his office. According to the secretary of the board, the board extensively employed enough officers for the office.
Angazia inahusu uozo na umenke katika gatuzi hili, na haswa yale ambao yametuleta hapa. Tuko tunawakilisha kama vile nawakilisha wandi ya Igembe. Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakristo mara nyingi hufunga na kusali pasipo hata kupata maji ama chakula. Mheshimiwa Spika, sembuza sisi ambao tunawakilisha maelfu ya watu, Mheshimiwa Spika, maana tunajua kwamba yapo masaa, zipo siku, ipo miongo na kadhalika. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa hivyo naunga kwa kauli moja kwamba hata ikifika saa 12 ama saa 3, Mheshimiwa Spika, tuangazie mambo haya bayana, ndiposa Mmeru aweze kuelewa ni kipi ambacho kipo ndani ya kingine. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Murray. Yes, Honorable Josephat Muna, Nyaki East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Nicholas Kinyomuna Josephat, representing the people of Nyaki East. It is my take that, bearing in mind that we have elephant in the house today, so much to transact as a house, we cannot afford
Honorable Muna, I can't see an elephant in the house, please. What exactly do you mean? Are you trying to scare these honorable members?
Mr. Speaker, I'm not out to scare honorable members in this assembly, but what I mean is I'm looking at the weighty matters that we have as a house to transact today, and we cannot afford the luxury of being busy today or abandoning what is at hand before we dispense it. And Mr. Speaker, I support the extension of time.
Thank you, Honorable Muna. Yes, Honorable Murangiri Mudara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. For the purpose of record, my name is Aurelio Murangiri Kiramana, representing the great people of Mudhara, and I'm supporting the motion or the idea to extend time until we finish the matters at hand. Looking at the gravity of the issues at hand, I think it's worth the sacrifice. We were sent into this august house by our people, or the people that we represent, so that we can be able to ensure that such critical issues are dealt with when they arise and at the point at which they arise. So for this day, I wish to say that we are ready to sacrifice everything, as much time as possible, to burn the midnight oil so that we can dispense the matters at hand. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honourable members. Can see there is no other contribution, so at this juncture, what is it, Honourable Mutungi? And Pole, and welcome to the Assembly.
Thank you very much. May I take this opportunity to congratulate the honourable members who wished me quick recovery. I'm recovered. my last appointment.
And those who didn't wish you quick recovery.
Even those who didn't wish me the quick recovery are praying for me.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the extension of time because what is important for us today is to untie the millstone around our neck instead of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Mutungi. Honourable members, now, if you allow me, please, I'll give them over a chance to reply, then we move on. Honourable Jimochoi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And indeed, as Honourable Mutungi says, you cannot go for lunch when you have a rope on your neck. So I want to thank the members, Mr. Speaker, for even sacrificing their precious time to be here, and also commend this House, Mr. Speaker, because of the great commitment that they have shown so far. Because every time we have heard matters of our county interest and the matters that concern the people that we represent, the members of this assembly, Mr. Speaker, have been always willing to sacrifice everything within their disposal to make sure that that matter is dispensed. And to agree with the members, I have found that members are ready even to be here, even overnight, so that they can make sure that Meru is free, and Meru, the people of Meru are well represented. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, and also thank you, members, for your commitment and also for your sacrifices. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Jim. I hope you wished Honourable Mutungi well when he was unwell. Honourable members, now, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 54-2, I now put the question, which is that this Honourable Assembly extends today's sitting time from 12:30 p.m. to a time when the House concludes all the businesses per the order paper as Standing Order number 1, 2, and 3. Will as many of a similar opinion say aye? Aye. We as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Honourable Gacheri, please take the floor and proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I think we shall proceed. Also wish to thank the mover who has moved the motion that has been passed. He gave me some time to sip some water. Mr. Speaker, I want to continue from where we left. That is number 4 on duplication of roles of chief officer in the office of the governor and the chief of staff still under the office of the governor. The board informed the committee that they had received a request from the county secretary requesting the board to employ chief officer to to the office of the governor, which the board gave guidelines that the process is ongoing. The board agreed that they were not involved in the appointment of the current acting chief officers on various departments. I'm just realizing that I read this, but maybe I can continue from the same. Okay. The board agreed that they were not involved in the appointment of the current acting chief officers on various departments at the county government. They were only consultant in creation of the positions of the 10 chief officers, but on the extra 8 chief officer, the posts, they were not consultant. The positions have to be competitively recruited. Number 5, on the positions of officers working under the office of the deputy governor. The board acknowledged that they recruited the staff working under the office of the governor and are not aware of any resignation or dismissal of any officers. Number 6, on the issue of the county secretary having powers to send members or on staff on permanent leave. According to the County Public Service Bond, if a member of staff commits an offense, then the bond should be involved because it's the employer and also responsible for terminating employment. The bond agreed that they are not aware of any member of staff on compulsory leave. Number 7, on the matter of powers of County Public Service Bond being undermined, the board agreed that the powers have been undermined by the imposters posing as the bond in many incidences. The board informed the committee that an officer can only act in the position for a period of 6 months. The board should also advise on any other officer acting in the position of the county government. Number 8, on whether the board had received any resignation letters from Paul Kamati, who was the driver under the office of the deputy governor, and Patrick Nkonga, who is the personal assistant to the deputy governor. The board confirmed that they have not received any resignation letters from the two. However, the board informed the committee that they received a letter from Paul Gikamati's lawyer requesting the board to do investigations on his alleged resignation. The board requested for the file, but there was no resignation letter in the file. The board further wrote to the chief of staff requesting for resignation letter, but they did not get any response. They later wrote a letter to the Department of Legal Affairs to carry out further investigations on the matter. The board has not received any information about the personal assistants since they appointed him to the position. They are not aware he is not receiving a salary. The board was copied the acknowledgement for the resignation of the driver, Mr. Paul Kamati, but not for the personal assistant to the deputy governor. The board is the one mandated to give instructions for any member of staff to put on payroll and also remove. On the case of Paul Kamati and Patrick Nkonga, they have not instructed the payroll officer to strike them from the payroll. Committee findings and observations. Mr. Speaker, the committee takes the following findings and observations. 1. The office of the deputy governor is constitutional and created to deputize the office of the governor. The committee establishes that the office of the deputy governor is an office within the office of the governor in terms of budgeting. This therefore goes without saying that all activities within the office are supposed to be funded from the governor's office budget. there is no clear distinction on how this budget should be shared between the two offices. Number 2, the deputy governor stated that his office was being underfunded for office operations. He submitted receipts before the committee showing various times he has fueled the official vehicle with his personal resources while on official duty. He further submitted letters written to different county departments and office of the governor which have never been responded to. This therefore establishes clearly that the office of the deputy governor is underfunded or not being funded at all in terms of daily operations. Number 3, further, the deputy governor submitted that he had 2 officers assigned to his office as a senior driver and personal assistant. He submitted 2 letters showing appointment of one Paul Kamati and Mr. Patrick Nkonga as the senior driver and personal assistant respectively. He however indicated that the 2 were alleged to have resigned from service and struck off payroll. He submitted 2 letters from the office of the governor signed by Chief of Staff Mr. Harrison Gatobu acknowledging receipt of their designations. The committee tried to establish the veracity of the matter and invited the 2 officers to record submissions. The 2 appeared before the committee under oath and submitted that they have never written in resignation letter and it was there, and if it was there, then it was forgery. One, Mr. Paul Kamati submitted that he first became aware of his resignation through social media after he saw the acknowledgement letter of his alleged resignation letter from Chief of Staff being posted. Mr. Nkonga submitted that he came to know of his alleged resignation after he did not receive his monthly salary, and on inquiry from the human resource, he was informed that he had resigned and the Chief of Staff had given instructions to strike off the payroll. The payroll manager gave him a copy of the acknowledgement letter which was written by the Chief of Staff. The committee further in bid to establish the truth invited the county public service to give its submissions on the matter. On oath, the board submitted that they have never received any resignation letter from any of the 2 officers and have never issued any order to strike them off payroll, being the body that is mandated by law to appoint and dismiss public officers within the county public service. As a matter of fact, the board stated that as far as they were concerned, the 2 officers are still in service and there was no resignation letters in their personal files. The board further provided a list of employees serving in the office of the governor, and the 2 mentioned officers were appearing in the list as employees serving the office of the deputy governor. Number 4, the committee further sought to record testimony from Chief of Staff Mr. Harrison Gatobu on the acknowledgement of letters of resignation, which he was the author, but he did not honor invitation, nor did he send any correspondence on non-appearance. The committee, acknowledging how critical the submissions of the Chief of Staff were, since he is the person who admitted in writing the receipt of the resignation letters from the 2 officers, decided to compel him appear before the committee through summons on 12 October 2023. However, the Chief of Staff shunned the summons with only a brief letter from the county secretary indicating the subject in discussion was pending in court, therefore they could not engage on the same. The committee noted the nature of summons issued required physical appearance on the of the officer before the committee, where he could then be given the opportunity to raise the sub judice issue. However, having shunned away the summons, the committee resolved to proceed and draw conclusions in the absence of his submissions. This therefore makes the committee conclude that the two officers indeed never resigned from the service and there is no existence of the alleged resignation letters. The committee also observes that the action to acknowledge a non-existent resignation letter and further directing removal of the officers from the payroll is gross misconduct by the chief of staff, and there is need for disciplinary action for the by the relevant authority. Number 5, the committee further observes that the action of the payroll manager to strike off the two officers from the payroll based on acknowledgement letter from chief of staff and the absence of any resignation letters from the said officers or authority to do so from the County Public Service Board, which is legally mandated body to appoint and dismiss the officers in the County Public Service Board is illegal and void. Therefore, there is need for the board to act on the issue and issue instructions to reinstate the officers in the payroll, as well as take action to the officers acknowledging non-existent resignation letters and those removing others from the payroll without due procedure being followed. Number 6. Based on the illegal removal of the two officers working in the office of the deputy governor from the payroll using acknowledgement letters from the chief of staff and the lack of financial funding to facilitate office operations, confirms the submissions from the deputy governor that his office is not being facilitated to enable it discharge its constitutional mandates. Number 7. The issue of exclusion from the county executive committee meetings. The deputy governor is legally a substantive member of the executive committee and therefore should be invited to attend meetings. He testified that the last meeting he was invited and attended was the meeting on 29th May 2023. He alleged that the county executive committee has sent a number of, has met a number of times without him being invited. To ascertain the veracity of his testimony, the committee invited the county secretary, Mr. Kiambi Adero, who is the secretary to the county executive committee, and the governor, who is the chairperson, to appear before the committee to give their submissions. They, however, did not honor the invitation. The governor sent a correspondence that she was engaged elsewhere on official duty. The county secretary did not send any correspondence to his non-appearance. The committee, noting the importance of their submissions, resolved to summon them to appear on 12th October. They both never adhered to the summons, and the committee received 2 letters on their non-appearance. The first letter was signed by Chief of Staff, which indicated that the law does not allow the assembly to summon the governor apart from matters, impeachment, or county unrest. The second letter, signed by the county secretary, indicated that the matter under discussion was pending before the court. Article 195(1) of the Constitution states that the county assembly or any of its committees has power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Further, Section 39(2) of the County Government Act 2012 expressly provides the committee of the county assembly may require a member of the executive committee to attend or appear before the committee and answer any question relating to the members' responsibilities. Article 79(2)(a) of the Constitution states that the governor and the deputy governor are members of the county executive committee, which makes them subjects of section 39(2) of the County Government Act. Act 2012 quote and above. On the second letter, which was indicating that the matter in question was pending before the court of law, the committee opined that the summons required physical appearance of the person before the committee, and instead of writing to the committee, the invitee should have appeared, then lays the matter before the committee for consideration. Based on the above legal provisions, the committee concluded that the invitees were evading appearing before the committee and resolved to proceed without their submissions. The committee proceeded and analyzed the testimony tendered by the deputy governor in the absence of the invitee submissions. The committee noted that the county executive committee meetings were normally communicated through text messages, written notices, and also WhatsApp group, where the county executive committee members were members of the group. The deputy governor testified that since the meeting on 29th May 2023, he has never received any notice on the meeting nor a text message inviting him to the county executive committee meeting. He also testified that he was removed from the WhatsApp group, hence he could not see intended meetings, and submitted a printout of the WhatsApp group communication showing his removal. He further submitted 2 letters dated 29th August 2023 and 11th September 2023 to the county secretary inquiring why he was not being invited for the cabinet meeting. The county secretary never responded to these letters. This clearly indicates that the deputy governor was intentionally excluded from the county executive committee meetings, which he is legally a member by virtue of article number 179(2)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya. The committee squarely faults the governor, who is the chairperson and convener of the county executive committee meetings, and the county secretary, who is also secretary to the same committee and responsible for issuance of notices. Number 8, on the issue of verification, the deputy governor submitted that the governor is on record in the mainstream medias uttering demeaning ones towards him, and further adduced evidence in form of printouts from 2 WhatsApp groups where the deputy governor was a member before he was ungraciously removed from those groups. He indicated that the groups were turned into bullying forums even by his juniors, being cheered on by his boss, the governor. The deputy governor further submitted that in a plot to intimidate and belittle him, he was arbitrarily moved from his office in the headquarters building, which was housing the governor and the deputy governor, and relocated to the annex building. He submitted that the office allocated does not have space for support staff, who included personal assistant, security driver, and waiting bay for the visitors, making them operate from the corridors. He also protested the manner which the relocation was done, which led to a loss of items from the office, including cash and laptop. The officers working in the office of the deputy governor, not knowing the office had been located, even reported to the police station, since the office was forcibly broken into and locks changed. The committee, while analyzing the evidence submitted, realized that the governor has been on forefront verifying his deputy and encouraging junior officers, who included the chief of the including the CECs, the Chief of Staff, and administrators to verify him. The committee opened the conduct to the amount to gross misconduct, and the governor, knowing that this hand and duty to reprimand and discourage the discourse, but instead she churned it on. Conclusions. In conclusion, the committee established sufficiently that the governor has, as in person or through the members of staff, ended the under facilitation of the office of the deputy governor to cripple it down to perform its constitutional mandate. This has been supported by the various testimonies and evidence adduced before the committee, including refusal to fuel the official deputy governor vehicle, acknowledgement of the non-existence of resignation letters of the staff serving the deputy governor's office, arbitrary relocation of the office of the deputy governor without consultation to an office without the relevant amenities, castigating of deputy governor in the social media forums, and encouraging junior staff to verify and castigate him. Encouraging exclusion of the deputy governor from the county executive committee meetings, which is constitutionally a substantive member, and the failure to honor summons by the committee of the county assembly, which is against provisions of article number 195 of the constitution and section 39(2) of the County Government Act 2012. Article 75 of the constitution states, 1. A state officer shall behave whether in public and official life, in private life, or in association with other persons in a manner that avoids A, any conflict between personal interest and public or official duties, B, compromising any public or official interest in favor of personal interest, or demeaning the office the office owns. Demeaning the officer the office owns. Number 2, a person who contravenes the clause 1 or article 76, 77 or 78 2A shall be subject to the applicable disciplinary procedure for the relevant office, and B, may in accordance with the disciplinary procedure referred to in paragraph A, be dismissed or otherwise removed from office. 3. A person who has been dismissed or otherwise removed from office for contravention of the provisions specified in clauses 2 is disqualified from holding any other office. The committee therefore resolves that the actions and omissions committed by the governor contravenes the provisions of Article 75 1C quoted above, that the governor acted in a manner that he was demeaning the office she holds. The committee, having concluded on this matter, it is therefore the prerogative of the county assembly to invoke provisions of Article 75 2 of the Constitution and any other enabling law as they deem fit. Recommendations. The county treasury, Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that 1. The county treasury to establish a sub-vote within the vote end of the office of the governor and in order of all planning documents to ensure the office of the deputy governor is well funded to discharge its constitutional mandate, and in the failure of the county treasury to do so, county assembly be free to establish the first supplementary budget for the year 2023-2024 or 2024/2025 financial year. Number 2, that the Meru County Public Service Board do direct reinstatement of one Mr. Patrick Nkonga and Paul Gekamati as personal assistant and senior driver respectively under the period which they have illegally been removed from the payroll, all paid within a month from this report, within a month from when this report is passed by the Assembly. Number 3, that the County Public Service Board is hereby directed to immediately desist from delegating the appointing authority to officers who are not stipulated in Section 86(1) of the County Government Act. Number 4, that the Meru County Public Service Committee commences disciplinary action against the Chief of Staff on issuing acknowledgement letters of non-existent resignation letters pursuant to Section 54(4)(f) of the County Government Act 2012. Number 5, the committee also recommends that the Deputy Governor should be reinstated to his office at the county headquarters that befits a stature as a duly elected Deputy Governor of Meru within 7 days after the adoption of this report. The committee notes that the public resources were spent to make the office suitable to host the deputy, to host a Deputy Governor, so the office should serve its purpose. Number 6, that the County Assembly finds the Governor, the CEC Finance, the County Secretary, the Chief of Staff, and the Fleet Manager in violation of Article 185 Constitution together with Section 18 and 22. The County Assembly's Privileges Act, and the Assembly may take any action it deems fit against the officers. Acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, the committee sincerely is grateful to the office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Assembly for the necessary support extended to it in execution of its mandate. The chairperson of the committee takes the opportunity to also thank all the members of the committee for their patience, sacrifice, endurance, commitment to public service. The committee wishes to convey appreciation for services rendered by Secretariat of the committee. Their effort and dedication made the work of the committee and production of this report possible. This is, Mr. Speaker, my submission by the committee. Mr. Speaker, we have the members, a number of members, Mr. Speaker, who signed this report, and it is in our annexure. I want, Mr. Speaker, to also mention the annexures that are in this report, Mr. Speaker, that maybe I might not go through them, but they are all of them there for the members to see. First, we have in the annexures, we have letters from His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, to the County Assembly. We also have annexure number 2, which is invitation of the Deputy Governor to appear before the committee. Annexure number 3, request for the Deputy Governor requesting the scheduling of the meeting. Number 4, we have receipts of expenditure incurred by the Deputy Governor in the funding office operations and fueling his official vehicle. Number 5, we have correspondences from the office of the Deputy Governor to the County Secretary. Number 6, we have evidence of verification of the Deputy Governor on WhatsApp group. Number 7, we have invitation letters for the Governor, County Secretary, Chief of Staff, CCM Department of Finance, Economic Planning, CCM Legal Affairs, Public Service Management and Administration, Secretary, County Public Service, Board, Chief Officer Cooperatives, Fleet Manager, Mr. Patrick Nkonga and Mr. Paul Gekamati. Number 8, we have an apology letter from Her Excellency the Governor and the CCM Finance and Economic Planning on not being able to attend the meeting. Number 9, we have acknowledgement receipt of resignation letter from Mr. Paul Kamati. 10, we have appointment letter for Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 11, we have pay slips of Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 12, we have acknowledgement receipts of resignation letter from Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 13, we have list of employees working under the office of the governor from the County Public Service Board. Number 14, we have summons to appear before the committee for the governor, CCM Department of Finance and Economic Staff, Economic Planning, Chief of Staff, County Secretary and Fleet Manager. Number 15, we have copies of the oaths that they took, Mr. Speaker, and lastly but not least, we have the minutes of the committee that are all annexed in this committee. Mr. Speaker, at this particular point, I think these are the submissions, and that's the report of the committee, and I would wish to ask my Vice Chair, One Honorable Kirinya, to second this report with your permission, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kacheri Moduri, for going through that lengthy report. And now, the Vice Chair, Honorable Kirinya, it's your chance to second. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to second the motion that has been read by my very able chair, Honorable Kacheri Moduri. For the purpose of records, Kirinya Mwenda Benson, specially elected through Devolution Empowerment Party. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this motion. And number 2, Honorable Speaker, before I second, I want to extend gratitude to you and your office for placing this matter before the Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion. It was quite an engaging matter, Honorable Speaker, that we took with honor, and we did the best we could to come up with this report, Honorable Speaker. I would like to second the motion by drawing the attention of the members to the recommendations that the committee did. And these recommendations, Honorable Speaker, are meant, borrowing from a colleague who spoke, Honorable Duranira. He said that this House has mandate to untie the millstone around our necks, and therefore the work of this committee and the recommendations they did, Honorable Speaker, was to further untie the millstones around the necks of even members who are not part of this House, but working tirelessly for the welfare of Meru County, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, the recommendations, especially recommendation number 5 and 6, Honorable Speaker, is meant to prevent megalomaniacs who rise to power, Honorable Speaker, from further misusing that power and making other people who are working for this county look like they are working under the mercies of those megalomaniacs, Honorable Speaker. That is why when you look at recommendation number 5, we have categorically, the committee has categorically recommended that the Deputy Governor be reinstated to the office that, Honorable Speaker, was designed to befit.
Honorable Kirinya, you know, as far as time on, as you have 5 minutes and you have consumed 5, so I'll give you more 3. Please condense your argument. Please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, again for your generosity. What I was saying is that our recommendation number 5 has also been given timelines that the Deputy Governor be reinstated in the office that was designed to befit the stature of the Deputy Governor within 7 days. And number 6, Honorable Speaker, is that the County Assembly has found, according to the report, has found the Governor, the CCM Finance, and the County Secretary, the Chief of Staff, and the Fleet Manager in violation of Article 195 of the Constitution, together with Sections 18 and 22 of the County Assembly's powers and privileges, and this Honorable House takes the action. And therefore, even the end of the recommendations in this is that the Assembly has been asked to take action that it deems fit. So thank you, Honorable Speaker. Because of time constraint, I second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Kenya Benson. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 54.1, I now propose the question, which is that this Honorable Assembly considers and adopts the report of the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion on the complete list by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Meru County, to the County Assembly of Meru, and list among others is arranged exclusion from County Executive Committee meetings and in facilitation of his office, which report was laid on the table of the Honorable Assembly today, Tuesday, the 17th day of October 2023, during the morning sitting. Any member wishing to make a contribution can catch the speaker's eye. Yes, Honorable Makasi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Makasi is my name, and I represent the amazing people of Mwangaza who sent me to this Honorable House. As I stand to support this motion, I haven't gone for this moment and to be in this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker. I'm a member of the committee and we did a good work. And Honorable Speaker, at some point, some people almost went into tears when they earned the submissions from the Deputy Governor. And indeed, not only members from this Assembly, Honorable Speaker, including members of the public who watched live on Meru TV the proceedings of that day when the Deputy Governor was in this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker, and it was a bad moment. And Honorable Speaker, we are dealing with the people who cannot comply to the summons of this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker. We are not privy to the articles of the governance, articles of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, we have invited people to our committee and they declined to attend, giving no reason for that non-attendance. And a letter we received from the Deputy Governor, the Governor, from the Chief of Staff, indicating that the Governor could not attend a sermon in this house because she enjoys the immunity of similar to those of the President, Honorable Speaker, which is not true, Honorable Speaker. And that was the second time we summoned her. The first time she indicated that she was away with the Deputy President, but on the second summon, she took us in circles, and I think the reason is that there is a lot of impunity in this county, Honorable Speaker, which we must deal with right from now, because nobody can be allowed in this county, Honorable Speaker, to be through this Honorable House. We have a duty and responsibility, Honorable Speaker, to protect even the employees of this county, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Makasi, just a moment. Honorable Kambura. Honorable Grace Kambura. What is bothering you, Honorable Kambura? Okay, well, I'll give you an opportunity. Let's allow Honorable Makasi to
finish, then Honorable Mutembei, then we'll come to you. You can even make contribution from the front here, no problem, Honorable Kambura. If the microphone is not working, you use the one that Honorable Wachiri was using. Is that okay with you? Thank you, Honorable Kambura. Yes, Honorable Mwangaza, please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hope I'll catch the flow because it got distracted a bit, Honorable Kambura. But Honorable Speaker, what I was saying is that we cannot allow the responsibilities and duties of the service bond also to be taken over, to be hijacked by a few people, contrary to the provisions of the law. The county secretary and the chief of staff have actually usurped the powers of the service bond by indulging in even the recruitment. Honorable Speaker, firing of employees attached to the office of the governor is another issue that really took us by surprise, because it's very demeaning, Honorable Speaker, for the deputy governor to be denying the access to the of staff to the extent of even being denied fuel, Honorable Speaker, and is supposed to run around and the duties that he must be doing as the deputy governor, but he cannot perform, Honorable Speaker. And I'm aware, Honorable Speaker, some members of the public have heard them discuss and say they've been, the deputy governor reached out to them for some money. The service board, Honorable Speaker, the county secretary, the public service board, Honorable Speaker, has been taken over. And when we enlighten them, they highlight them that they are not aware, they are not privy to most of the happenings regarding employment and sacking. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to take a lot of time, but also I've gone through the annexures of the WhatsApp group or something, and what I'm seeing, Honorable Speaker, is baffling, because the deputy governor is being bashed on that page, left, right, and center, and at one of the pages, if I can read, Honorable Speaker, it says, Ujinga, sponsored by the DG, I'm using last warning and don't entertain useless threats. My 15 years in politics have never been such childishness and ukumbavu. Walinipea 6K, the entire constituency, and DG kitu yake I was last. Anaongea nini sasa? You want to eat what you never learned for. It's a curse. Honorable Speaker, it's baffling. And the way he has been even belittled in those pages is inhuman, and nobody deserves such.
Honorable Mwangaza, who is being cast and who is casting the other?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The other is Governor Mwangaza, who is indicating how many votes she got from the constituency where the deputy governor hails from. And you know, once you are elected, Honorable Speaker, you serve those who voted for you and those who didn't vote for you. So, bearing in mind this is a page where the junior officers, junior than the deputy governor, it's a page where they are in. It's also very demeaning to write such things in such a page. So, with the few remarks, those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion and call upon the other members to do support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mwangaza, thank you. Honorable Caleb.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, yes, my name is Caleb Mutembei Kebuko, representing the great people of municipality, and I like to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, you will allow me first to thank and appreciate our chair for this committee, this particular committee, where I am a member, for the good job that we've done as a committee. Again, Mr. Speaker, you will allow me, from my profession, I'm an accountant. And if I was asked the status of this county, Mr. Speaker, I would say the balance sheet of Meru leadership is heavy. Because the leader and the person who is at the helm is micromanaging this county like money in a basket or in a parcel. Mr. Speaker, when we have been in this assembly listening to the deputy governor.
Honorable Caleb, be more particular when you say the Linda. Who is the Linda? Be more particular on the contribution that you are making.
I will be more particular, Mr. Speaker, and when I say the Linda, but I mean the governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. She is micromanaging the county, and as we all know, Mr. Speaker, we all have been given an opportunity to serve. It is an obligation that the people gave us. And when we see how she is treating the office of the governor, Mr. Speaker, it is heartening to us, because the deputy governor was given an opportunity as well to serve the people of Meru. Article 179, Mr. Speaker, gives a clear definition of who should attend the meetings, the official meetings. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the deputy governor is a substantive member of the executive meetings. And when we find that he is not accorded that opportunity, Mr. Speaker, it is either the governor does not understand the term substantive, or she is ignorant of the same. And because, Mr. Speaker, we as the House, the Land Assembly, we've been given the mandate by the people to rectify mistakes. I think this is the reason why, and it is an opportunity for us to rise to the occasion and bring order to the leadership of this county. So personally, and the powers that have been given the people of municipality, I like one to support and also call to order the executive led by the governor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chris Cambra. Then I'll give further directions. Honorable Chris Cambra, use the microphone here.
This one?
No, the one that is in front.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. For the records, I'm Grace Kabla Dramira, nominated by Bass Party in Meru County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am one of the committee whereby we invited the CEC. Mr. Speaker, sir, who was arrogant. He was not even listening to my heavy chair. When he first came and arranged what the PA of Deputy Governor Mutembei and his driver, what they said, he said that the Deputy Governor does not even appear in our WhatsApp group. He doesn't appear in the cabinet WhatsApp group. My head chair continued asking him the reason why he is not appearing in both WhatsApp group. He said that he don't know. We better consider asking our governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kawira Mwangaza does not even feel what a mother feels when he or she is approaching in front of her eyes. Mr. Speaker, sir, as a mother, we have to have two hearts, one for humanity and one for arrogance. For humanity is not. It is not even seen in our governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support this motion and I ask the whole House to support it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Grace Kambura, for your contribution. Yes, Honorable Mireti, then Honorable Mbuki, I'll give further instructions from there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the record, I'm Mireti Julius Elias Kaimbo. I represent the people of Mekidori Ward, and I want to support this discussion because
Honorable Kaimbo, it's not a discussion, okay. It's a motion. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Be procedural.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support this motion, and issues that have been raised pertaining the welfare of the deputy governor of this county. In that, in my judgment, it is ignorance of time and content. Even to think that the deputy governor can miss his privileges and rights in this county. Is an officer who has been entitled to these rights and privileges by the Constitution, and even thinking that he does not exist is a slap on his face. So Article 6, Article 10 and 73 have been squandered, have been slashed down and stamped upon, which is very wrong as we sit as one of members. I applaud this committee for coming up strongly to show the world what this office is undergoing. It is barbaric, it is archaic and repugnant to render this office non-existence. The second office in Meru County to act as if it is not there. Therefore, I recommend, as it has been done by my colleagues, that all what this office is entitled be reinstated with immediate effect, so that this county can have some respect even for those who come in the future. You cannot run a county government like your home. You cannot talk like a lay person to the officers that have been elected by the people of this Meru. So to me, I strongly support, and with immediate effect, as it has been settled in 7 days, everything must be placed in order, and we want to see our second in command, the deputy governor, working effectively, efficiently, and discharging his duties for this county, because he is entitled to, and nobody can do otherwise. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mireti Julius. Yes, Honorable Mbiuki Godwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for according me the opportunity. I'm Godwin Mutembei Mbiuki, representing the people of Wigos West. Mr. Speaker, I really shed tears. I don't even recall the last time I shed my tears, but unfortunately, when the deputy governor appeared before this committee, I almost shed my tears. Mr. Speaker, I believe that even those celebrating this regime is like they are not aware of what is happening. There is a lot of impunity undercover, and it is the right time that this one must be exposed for the public consumption, Mr. Speaker. I remember, Mr. Speaker, on 9th of August 2022, the people of Meru went to the ballot. And the elected Governor Kawira Mwangaza as the governor of this county. At the same time, our deputy Twidinkia was elected as the principal assistant to the governor. Mr. Speaker, the purpose was to have them jointly run the affairs of this county. And Mr. Speaker, we went ahead as the assembly to ensure that there is that smooth running of the county. We allocated the office of the governor 173.4 million to ensure that both the governor and the deputy governor are well facilitated. Mr. Speaker, it is surprising that the office of the deputy governor cannot operate. This is public money. This money does not belong to the governor. Mr. Speaker, I'm expecting that when we have a supplementary, at any given time, we expect some money to be moved from the office of the governor to some other departments, because some of this money has not been used simply because the office of the governor, the deputy governor has not been facilitated. So, Mr. Speaker, I send support, and this impunity, Mr. Speaker, must end. As you are aware, the 2010 Constitution created 2 tiers of government. There is the national government, which is made up of the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament.
The county government is made up of the assembly and the executive. And our own mandate, Mr. Speaker, is to check the executive. And we will check the governor because we have been empowered by the constitution. We will check even the staff, Mr. Speaker, and the attempt of the governor and even the members of the executive not to appear before this house or the committee of this house is the impunity of their highest order, and we must deal with it very severely, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I intend to support the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mutembei. Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And for the purposes of record, I'm Hali Mwenda, MCAG Award, and the Deputy Speaker of this Honorable Assembly. First, Honorable Speaker, I would wish to commend this committee, the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion, for the work well done. In fact, they've sent a precedent that this Honorable Assembly is working and it should be respected. Honorable Speaker, on hearing the submissions that were made by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, it was really touchy. Most of us who had an opportunity to listen to him were really moved by the issues that he raised in this assembly. And I remember at some point we didn't call upon the CEC. The CEC, that is one Munene, and I did ask him about issues on morality and the level of arrogance that CEC demonstrated to the members of this Honorable Assembly was beyond reproach. In fact, Meru County government is run by a dictator who disregards everything. It's like the whole of this government, it's a family affair. The CECs, the chief officers who we vetted in this Honorable Assembly, most of these members have really handed it, who have gone to the executive on their issues concerning their want, then disrespect, the arrogance that these members have gone through. It's quite all-time high in Meru County. And a time has come that we need to fix Meru. And the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion have really set a precedent. And I would urge other committees of this House, the time has come that we have to fix the problems that we have in Meru. And as I heard my submission, Honorable Speaker, I would like to cite Article 195 of our Constitution that says a county assembly or any of its committee has powers to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence Thank you. It's back. Now I'll repeat it again. That is Article 195 of our Constitution that states that a county assembly or any of its committee has the power to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence or providing information. Number 2, it states, and this is what I want the Honorable Chairperson for the concerned committee to take into notice, that for the purposes of Clause 1, an assembly has the powers as the High Court. 1, to enforce the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. Number 2, to compel the production of documents. And number 3, to issue a commission or request to examine a witness even abroad. So them that didn't appear as per the summons, Honorable Chairperson, the committee concerned, I think it is in the best interest of this assembly that you enforce all that has been bestowed on you. So with that, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, it's already 1. We have another sitting starting at 2:30 p.m. So if you allow me, I'll give every member who want to make a contribution, but please you limit yourself to 2 minutes each, so that we're able to do with. We have 2 other more businesses remaining for this session before we break for the afternoon session. Yes, Honorable Aspora, Honorable Doris, Honorable Aaron, in that order, but please restrict yourself in 2 minutes so that I don't find myself cutting you short. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For purposes of records, I'm Kinya Zipora, specially elected by UDA party, and I rise to support this motion. And today, Honorable Speaker, will be very brief. I will not speak much, but I want to say that personally, when I saw the Deputy Governor speaking in one of our local medias, and he said that he has some of the things that have been that have happened to him or have been done to him that he will take to the grave. Personally, I cried that evening, Honorable Speaker, because I did not expect a mother who is making Meru happy in the name of Governor Kawira Mwangaza to make someone carry the healed beings to the grave. And I think, Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion, I want to note or to bring to the attention of members of this House that in the government, in the county government of Meru, it is not only the Deputy Governor who is suffering. I would want to bring to your attention, honorable members, that the members of the county staff are dying, they are stressed, and they are not able to work because of the impunity that is being meted on the harassment and many other things that are being meted on them by the county executive as per directed by the governor. And I would want to note or to bring to the attention of this House that the officers that are working under, especially the CECs and the county secretary and the others, are in dire problems. So my recommendation, Honorable Speaker, I would recommend that apart from the recommendations that this committee has given, I would recommend that they also invite the Director Human Resource to that committee to shed more light on the problems that the workers in the county government of Meru are going through under this government led by Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Should also maybe...
Honorable Spoda,
yes.
Your suggestion would be amount to changing the report of the committee, and you can only do that with a motion, please.
Well guided, Honorable Speaker.
And you have only taken 3 minutes.
I have taken 3 minutes, but let me just conclude by saying, yes, let me just conclude by saying that during the committee has given us a report that the 2 staff that were removed from the payroll by the payroll manager and the like were removed, but I would want to let this House know that when the payroll manager refused to remove these officers from the payroll, was transferred to another place, and also the director was transferred to another place, and then others were appointed, unqualified persons were appointed to act in their places so that they can commit that crime. Honorable Speaker, I support the report, and say that, and support the recommendations to implement and to the letter. Thank you.
Thank you. I was proud and Doris, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. For purposes of record, I'm Doris Kakinkunge, nominated member in the 8th August Assembly by the UDA party. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to recommend the committee led by the able chair, Honorable Gacheri Mudhuri, and the vice chair, Honorable Kirenya, for a very good work done. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it is very tearful that this government of the day, that is the county government of Meru, led by Excellency Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, the people of Meru went on 9th August to vote, and I know that Kawira Mwangaza, being the governor, went around the Meru county and chose His Excellency Reverend Mutuma as a deputy governor. I know there are many professionals, there are many politicians in this county who could be deputy governors, but when Governor Kawira Mwangaza chose Reverend Mutuma she knew very well Reverend Mutuma will deliver to the people of Meru County. But today, it is the vice versa. I want to remind them that at 195 states clearing, these assemblies, the mandate, and if Governor Kawira Mwangaza does well for Meru, she could really appear before this committee, and the allegations that are deputy governor and submitting to this assembly, the governor could come and state if it is true or wrong. That is what we could judge this governor with. Bearing in mind that she didn't appear before this committee, it means that all what the deputy governor, Reverend Mutuma accused this government is true to 100%. Why? If they knew it is not true, they could come before this committee or justice and legal affairs and question and say it is not true because of, and produce evidence that the matter is not true. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a house of honor, and it is a house that is guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010, whereby at 195 states clearly that the assemblies the mandate to summon and to have any person from the executive side to come before any committee of the house so that they can give evidence, they can give information about what is happening in this county. Also, Mr. Speaker, there is a ruling by the Supreme Court on 7th October 2022 that indicates clearly that the county assembly has the mandate to summon any county officer, even the governor. I think the county government of Meru, the officers, should know this clearly, that this is assembly as that mandate. And it is very long when you can see a junior officer, like the chief of staff, acknowledging fake resignation letters. This one is beyond, it is very long, and I think the chief officer, the chief of staff of this county government, Mr. Getona, should be dealt with in the law, because it is very long to write and to recommend fake. I can call them fake because according to what was presented in this assembly before the committee by the CEO, the County Public Service Board, they say they have not given any resignation letter. So, Mr. Speaker, I come to support and tell the people of Meru that Meru is not being ended well. We are in a state that people are doing what they think. You sleep today, you wake up tomorrow, you appoint somebody, you appoint somebody with the authority. We are not using, we have our one body that assigns and recruits people, that is the County Public Service Board. But in this county, it seems that we don't have a County Public Service Board because there are people here elsewhere who have taken this mandate. I support this motion, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable members, if you allow me, we will conclude on this debate and then move on because we have 2 more businesses to conclude. I think that will be the best that we can
What is it, Honorable Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to make my contribution, but now you have said that we...
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Muchui, MC for the one and the majority whip in this house. And I want to thank the committee for a good work that they have done, coming up with this very detailed report. And very briefly, Mr. Speaker, I want to state that our constitution and our laws foresaw a situation where there is no provision in law which is said that you should love each other so that you can work together. There is a very clear guidelines on how public officers should relate, even when you don't see eye to eye. And I think this was done so that now, even when people have personal differences in the public offices, the people that are electing them to those offices or the people who have put them there can still receive services from such people. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that a cabinet meeting in this county is not anyone's birthday party or a dowry payment function, so that now you can choose who to invite or who not to invite, when the Constitution sets very clearly and the laws of this land who should be members of that Constitution. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that our county has a serious problem, whereby personal differences are spreading all the way to affect the service delivery because of the relationships, and the law clearly puts how people should be able to relate or to work together. Our personal differences, actually, in terms of service delivery, Mr. Speaker, people should only meet where the law allows them to interact. All the other issues of love, hatred, and all that should not appear in public service. And I think our governor has a serious problem when it comes to such mixing emotions and the official duties of the new. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the committee. They have done a good job, and I recommend that, and I support and recommend that we adopt this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Mheshimiwa Arun, I'll finish up with you. I'll conclude. Yes, Honorable DMK.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kawira, DMK, MCA for Bogeta West and the Minority Party Whip. I stand to support the motion by the Jailer Committee, and there are 2 points that I've noted from this motion, particularly in the recommendations, that the County Assembly finds the Governor and the CEC Finance and the County Secretary and the Chief of Staff and the Fleet to be in violation of the Constitution, and the Assembly to take action on these officers. Mr. Speaker, all these people, the CEC Finance, the County Secretary, the Chief of Staff, the Fleet Manager, and all these other people that have been summoned by this House and failed to honor the summonses, Mr. Speaker, they are being commandeered by the Governor. And the solution is simple. It's for this House to strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. I have seen one of the WhatsApp conversation where the Governor is commenting as follows. He thinks, in reference to the Deputy Governor, he thinks I'm the type of person who can be scared by useless, childish, mannerless, mobilized group of people with threats. Kwanza nitafinya kieleweke. This is someone who was ready to finya the Deputy Governor up to the end, were not for the intervention of this House.
Honorable DMK, anafinya wapi?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know where the Governor is intending to finya the Deputy Governor, but she knows best where she is planning to finya him. But we saw him crying here, Mr. Speaker, so he was crying like someone who is finward. But I know this House, Mr. Speaker...
Also confirmed, it was not done.
Mr. Speaker,
did you confirm if it was done or not?
Mr. Speaker, I believe this is to mean that to be oppressed, Mr. Speaker, by the Governor. But Mr. Speaker, I know this House will finya than finyanaji. Thank you. I support the motion.
Yes, the Honorable Deputy Leader Majority, please take the floor. Arun, you know, the Deputy Leader Majority
is once a senior position than he was in this house. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Mr. Speaker.
When the majority leader is not in, you are the majority leader.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Patrick Mutuma, a member of County Assembly, representing the people of Kisima and the deputy majority of this house. First, may I take this opportunity to say that we are thankful to the office of the Speaker and the office of the clerk for the support that they have given this community. Then I thank you, the committee members, for availing themselves, for sacrificing so that they can do what the people elected them to do. Mr. Speaker, mine is very few. I'm a member of this committee, and I attended all the committee sittings. And Mr. Speaker, when the governor and deputy governor was when the deputy governor was making his submission, he was crying because of the inhuman activities which has been done to him. And Mr. Speaker, he even made us to cry because of emotions, because of the hill which have been done to him. Mr. Speaker, and this hill was being done by his juniors, being led by the governor. The governor, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, he is calling himself a bishop. And Mr. Speaker, I'm very sure you cannot hide on the name of God and do some ill thing to people. One day, God will going to punish you. And one day, God will punish Kawira Mwangaza, how he punished Pastor Kanyari. Mr. Speaker, before I conclude, let me say this. For this house to be respected and to be honored, this house have to do something on the executive officers who are called or who are summoned to this house and they fail to honor the summons. First one is the James Mutia and the county secretary, that is Kiambi, fleet manager, the CCM finance. Those officers, you have to take the next action so that all the people can be able to respect this house, because Article 195 gives us a mandate to summon each and everyone in this country. Even the CCM legal officer, Mr. Munene, who appeared, seems to know nothing, because when you ask him questions, he will say that I'm not aware, and he seems not to be living in this country. So even this house have to do something on this person. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say, even when you summon the governor, he did not appear, and there was a letter which was written by Chief of Staff, Nchanda Mbezi, and according to me, according to the law, Nchanda Mbezi, or the one called Addison Gatabu, I can say he is not eligible, or he has no right to read to any letter to this house. The person who is supposed to write a letter is a county secretary, so I don't know who is Nchanda Mbezi to write a letter to this house. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, this report is enough to impeach even the governor. When you go to Article 75 of the Constitution, it states the characters of a public office holder, and I am very sure the governor himself have already contravened this article, and this report is enough to impeach this governor, and I am very sure that we are going to impeach her. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mutuma. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, at least, to give my point on this motion, Honorable Speaker, by the powers, the sovereign power that I was given by the people of Avogeta East to express their interests in this House. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion for the fact that, Honorable Speaker, from the proceedings that have been happening in this House, and the guys, the members from the executive who were invited in this House to shed light on what is happening in the Meru County Assembly, or Meru in general, Honorable Speaker, we have extracted from their dealings, from their investigations, and Mr. Speaker, you bear with me that whatever that has been happening in Meru County
it is not the right thing, Honorable Speaker. One, when we took the oath of office to defend the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, we can see these members, these honorable members that we passed from this honorable house, Honorable Speaker, they are defying the orders issued to them by us, who happens to be having powers equivalent to that of the High Court, Honorable Speaker, and for us to bring sanity in this county, in this Meru County, Honorable Speaker, the recommendations that have been done by the Justice and Legal Affairs, Honorable Speaker, they are supposed to be effected. And Honorable Speaker, from the official communication WhatsApp groups that I've seen, one, the one that is named County Admin Services, and the other one named the Land Government 012, Honorable Speaker, whatever the contents of those two WhatsApp groups, Honorable Speaker, they are intimidatory, because, Honorable Speaker, I've seen quite a number of messages that have been written in those communication, Honorable Speaker, trying to coerce the Deputy Governor to come straight and put things straight, while they know that, Honorable Speaker, it is not the right thing. Everyone in this House or in this Republic of Kenya has his or a constitutional right to defend. And, Honorable Speaker, according to me, our Deputy Governor being denied his rights, where, and it's an constitutional office which has voted, denying a Deputy Governor to attend a meeting meant for the Deputy Governors of this county, Honorable Speaker, and ours does not represent the people of Meru, Honorable Speaker. I feel it is not right, and that is why I support this in totality, Honorable Speaker, because we cannot watch or sit and see our coffers, the Meru people's money, being used the wrong way, because if it is meant to facilitate these offices, Honorable Speaker, it is the right of them, because they were also elected in the same position and they are expected to be catered for. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable. Now I believe you are satisfied. Yes, Honorable Tururu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And my name is Patrick Adoriman Tururu, representing the great people of Timor West. And Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion and the recommendation of the committee, Mr. Speaker. And mine being a few words, Mr. Speaker, from the extract that I've also been able to see in one of the WhatsApp groups, Mr. Speaker, I can see the governor rather saying that, quoting the Bible, that the Bible says that lazy people should not eat and so and be denied all benefits. And Mr. Speaker, you wonder, did the governor add or rather have a measure of the laziness that probably in a submission that she was referring to the deputy governor?
Please, Honorable, to conclude remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I think it's that time this House, Mr. Speaker, do bite on the culprits and make sure we regain the sanity. And for this matter, Mr. Speaker, I support the report, the motion.
Honourable members, we have a very, very important matter that is on the amendment of the second session of the Assembly calendar, which you need to dispose them very fast. So at this juncture, I'll allow the mover to take the floor and reply. Please, mover.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. First, let me begin by appreciating the members who have really positively supported the motion. And Mr. Speaker, I will really call upon the executive to be able to implement the recommendations of the committee once it is adopted by this House starting today. Further, I refer to which, Mr. Speaker, will also be calling upon the implementation committee to be able to see that this is implemented to the letter. Thank you so much. I support and I appreciate all the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gacheri, Modern Muturi, honorable members. Pursuant to the provisions of standing on number 54.2, I now pose the question, which is that this Honorable Assembly considers and adopt the report of the Sectoral Committee on Justice, Equal Affairs and Cohesion on the complete of His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Meru County, to the County Assembly of Meru, against, among others, is arranged exclusion from County Executive Committee meeting and facilitation of his office, which report was laid on the table of the Honorable Assembly today, Tuesday, the 17th day of October 2023, during the morning sitting. Will as many of our similar opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Clerk, can you take the next number?
Order number 9, procedural motion for the amendment of the second session assembly calendar.
Honourable members, today we have one motion for the amendment of the second session assembly calendar to be moved by Honourable Jim Muchoindionisio, Majority Chief Whip. Honourable Jim Muchoindionisio, please take the floor and move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, my name is Jim Muchui, representing the great people of Avana Ward and Majority Whip in the County Assembly of Meru. And I'm here to move a motion that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 29.4, this Honorable Assembly resolves to amend the second session calendar of the Third County Assembly to the calendar proposed in the schedule appearing in this order paper. The schedule is attached to the order paper. I invite Honorable Mutuma, the Deputy Majority Leader, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Jim Muchoi. Yes, Honorable Mutuma, the Deputy Leader Majority. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I'm Patrick Mutuma. I'd like to second the motion that you amend.
TV.
Kumeritwa bitagwa Pamela Gaki Wagitobu. Kugira mbitagaja ojo ngoge kumithia miti. Going back to history, or some years back, David degree in environmental science and natural resource management. So this idea I carried from the university, deja kuthithia nayo ngogeaja. Okay, kumeambiria ndambira gwetakire my dad. Ndamwira baba inkwenda kamunda, inkwenda kumithia tumite fulani no tubakosira ndithithia inkwenda kuthithia masters. Na ndenda kuthithia masters bikire project yakwe masters umithia bwa miti. My father
In season 2 of Second Family on Showmax, the ghost of Leo Langat comes back to haunt his family as his sons, daughters,